Welcome back to day 2 of the SHOT Show live streaming. Abe and myself are putting this on from Legally on America at Abe's Instagram channel. If you're watching this on my YouTube, go check out Abe's Instagram. You'll catch the same feed going live over there. And follow her page and all of her content. Follow her YouTube page. Subscribe to it if you will.
Which is just Ava Flinnell.
Ava,
in case anybody.
Is it an underscore?
No, Ava Flinnell underscore.
Okay.
Yeah, gotta get it right.
So check her stuff out too. We are at the Century Arms booth number 11962. We were here yesterday for a couple of hours. We got 4 hours today that we're coming to you guys from the Century Arms booth. And to kick everything off today, we actually have Century Arms with us. We've got Adam with Century Arms. Adam, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be
And
here.
right now it's like we're making a giant sandwich, with the giants in the middle.
The big dudes.
Yeah.
It makes me look really, really small right
Me
here.
too. Who needs to lose weight when you got a big friend?
Right.
Did you just call me fat? Yeah, wow.
Well, Adam,
And that was the last time they were at Century Arms.
Right,
Congratulations.
we
Yeah.
probably won't
Well.
be here tomorrow. No, we actually will be here, same spot again, obviously, guys. Adam, tell us about some of the new stuff that you guys have coming out for 2020 that you guys are excited about.
Well, Century Arms has been in this game for a long time, and it's gone everywhere from their imports, the Wassers, the Dracos, to really trying to delve into what is Century's footprint in America with American manufactured products. And they started that. They started with the AKs. They said, you got to go AK-47. And they had some ups and downs. You're going to have ups and downs. If you look at all the other manufacturers that did this as well, there was ups and downs. And the best thing about it is Americans learn from failure. That's the best way. You shoot your shot, you miss,
Right.
you shoot again. No pun intended. And they were able to come out with the Visca line. The Visca line is something that's still a work in progress, but we're really proud of it. Some innovations in metallurgy, some innovations in the best way to actually accuracy, reliability in the AK platform. And so that's something that we said, hey, we finally got it right, but let's keep going. And so with import issues right now, the political climate, government contracts overseas, it's getting harder and harder to bring in the volume of imports that the American 2A community really asks for.
Yeah.
And when the volume goes down, cost unfortunately goes up as well, not only for us, but then it's passed on to the end user. And we said, hey, that's not fair to us, and that's not fair to the 2A community, so let's actually have some consistency in terms of what we produce, the volume we can. And that means truck guns, your pistols, your things like that. So we are now introducing the AK, the Visca Micro, and the Mini, kind of like the Dracos, but an all-American made version. So that's out now. And then we said, you know what, let's take on the Unicorn. And the Unicorn in the AK world is, of course, the AK-74.
Yep.
So out show right now, and I'll definitely make sure you guys get some shots of it, is our very first all-American made AK-74 chambered, of course, in 5.45.
Yeah.
And we said, let's start from the very basics. What do people want the AK platform on an American one? And we said, we've got to have a cleaning rod. So it's got the cleaning rod. It's got to have a bayonet lug. It's got to have a good finish, nitride. It's got to be out and it's ready out the gate. And we did all this, and of course, it's got to have a forged trunnion, So we did a bulge forged trunnion and put it on the AKM platform so that you can use all of the different accessories that people love. People are finicky about that, so we wanted to make sure that we could actually make that available. And then we said, well, we think we got it right, but that's what got us in trouble last time.
Yeah.
So we launched what we're calling the 545 initiative. And the 545 initiative is very simple. We're taking 5 influencers and industry experts, we're putting them on a panel. And they said, well, that's not enough. That while they're great, they all have their opinions, it's really about what the end user wants.
Yeah.
The guy that just gets an AK because he loves it. He doesn't do reviews. He's not in a lab somewhere. He wasn't necessarily even in the military. He just likes exercising his rights. So he said, then we're going to select 4 random individuals that have never done a YouTube channel, and they're going to be on our board. And then, everybody has their definition of what is the ultimate test to ensure if a gun's ready. So we're going to say, America, submit what you think is the most extreme torture test you can.
So you guys are going to run it over with a tank because that's what a lot of people like to do when they torture test things, which makes no sense.
So we're going to, I don't care if it's, hey, put it in Jello for 4 days and then see what it does.
Yeah.
We're going to take all of them. We're going to bring it down to what we think is probably the most realistic 5, or probably realistic 20, and then we're going to let America pick 5 of them. So this panel is going to be on it. They're going to get them in hand, and then we're going to show everything uninterrupted. So you're going to see the good, the bad, and the ugly. And there's going to be ugly. When you're doing a project like this, you want it to be ugly because you want to learn what's good and what's wrong. And so we're going to do all this. We're going to completely pull back the curtain and have transparency as this project goes on. So people, your next question will be, when is this going to be out? We don't know.
Yeah.
It could be 6 months, it could be a year, because we're not going to release it until it's right, and then we're not going to release it when we want to.
Yeah.
We're going to, once we think we have it there and everybody's seen all the information, we're going to put it up to an American vote. And so every week, we're going to put it up for vote. Is it ready to launch? And we have to, the standard we said is, there's going to be people that just don't like it.
Yeah.
There's going to be people that troll it. And there's going to be people that honestly, maybe for a different company, and they want that one to come out first. That's okay. But we want 74% playing into the numbers.
Yeah, I get it.
74%, 2 weeks in a row to vote, it's time to go.
Okay.
And once we have that, then we will launch the first all-American made AK-74 that we're proud of and that America had the input and they can be proud of too.
And when does the voting start?
The voting will start realistically, it won't even begin until we feel that we're close to perfection. So the actual initiative is starting now, and there will be a lot more information on centuryarms.com as well as our social media. We'll rely on people like you to really get that message out there. But that's starting very, very soon.
Okay.
But the actual gun and the voting process, we got some time. We got to work ahead of us. So it's going to be really fun to do, and it's going to be really scary to do. But we're gonna do it right.
And what do you think of the availability of ammo? Obviously, that's not a common Walmart round that you
Right.
can find.
So, I was talking to Rob Ski yesterday, actually, and from AK Operators Union. He said, there's that paradigm of, well, we don't want to make the ammo anymore and import it to America because there's not the guns. Well, there's not the guns because there's not the ammo.
Yeah.
Blah, blah.
Hello.
So obviously, we're fortunate enough to have Red Army Standard. And Red Army Standard now has the opportunity in ammo to import 545 ammo.
Nice.
So we're going to make sure that there is the ammo.
Okay.
And not only that, we have US Palm, which is an accessory line. Man, it'd be really great if we could maybe make an AK mag that was chambered in it, because that's another big issue. They're hard to find and they're expensive. So we want to make this a blue collar, everyday, affordable rifle that people will be proud of in another caliber that is actually a really fun and reliable round to shoot.
I think it'll be a popular gun. Again, the ammo is going to dictate, I'm sure, the availability
Naturally.
of the gun. Just out of curiosity, and I know a lot of people out there don't understand you mentioned earlier the ins and outs of the whole import process. There's a whole lot that happens when you bring one of these weapons into the United States. They can't come in as a whole. You can't distribute as a whole. Explain at a high level without getting into the weeds, the kind of things that you guys face trying to import weapons.
So not only do you have, obviously, the basics of the 922R compliance, which is stating that it can't come incomplete, and then once it comes here, it has to have a certain percentage of the parts on that rifle actually still have to be American. So, and that's just part of the checks and balances. And I get it, we get it. The checks and balances to ensure that things are being done properly.
Right.
Not only that, but then you have to deal with the factories that we deal with across the world, because what happens is, especially in a political climate, the leadership in these factories, a lot of them are political or government run, so they're constantly changing out who's working there. If a regime change happens or somebody gets a promotion, suddenly the guy that you worked with for the last 6 months to set up a project isn't even there anymore. He's not even in that country anymore.
Yeah.
So that happens a lot, and you've got to start all over. Then you've got issues like like I said, government run. So, a war begins or something, they get government contracts. You're taking a back seat.
Your contact might be dead in some countries.
Yeah.
Depending on which country you're dealing with.
And also then you have the whole issue of, hey, we're going to make our guys, our Army guns first. Then you maybe get a gun. Then also you have, people have asked, obviously we've done some amazing things with like the Wasser 3 chambered in 5.56, the PSL that's behind us. They have to shut down their standard AK line to then do a different line.
Right.
So all these things have to go into getting the volume that we would need to actually make sense to import, and then to be able to get it out to the public in the volumes that people would actually appreciate it being there.
Well, we're going to do this. We're going to take some pictures and probably post them online of some of the stuff you guys are talking about right now, since we aren't displaying it. And we're going to have you guys back tomorrow also. And I think if we have time, we'll wrap up the day with you guys.
Perfect.
Maybe we can share those, Abe, and put that out there and let everybody take a look at them. And if they have questions, they can just disseminate those to us.
Yeah, and we can talk. We can talk Canik too if we want to tomorrow.
Absolutely.
So,
Well, we might want to do that too.
Yeah, actually, tomorrow, because I got my hands on a Canik and I have nothing but good things to say about it.
I tell you what, it's really the moniker is Superior Handguns, and when I first came out, I've been here on about 6 months now. I've come from inside the industry. I was like, that's a pretty bold statement. I tell you what, I say it's literally the best handgun a lot of people have never heard of.
Yeah,
And it is. And our marketing plan for 2020 isn't to have the flashiest sign or the most magazine ads. It's to literally put it in people's hands. Because once they pull that trigger, even a dry fire, their face goes,
Right.
You know, it really is an impressive handgun, and we're really, really proud to have it under our umbrella.
We'll put one up here tomorrow whenever we put our stand up there, the whole YouTube standards. And I don't know if you saw the comments. A lot of people were commenting from yesterday because we couldn't touch a gun. We were like hovering around it.
Yeah.
They have some odd standards right now on shooting live. We can't touch a gun live. We
Wow.
can't touch them
Yeah,
live. So
so-
I have a stand here.
So
maybe
if we
tomorrow
could just
we'll
get like one of those lazy Susans and kind of like spin it around
Yeah.
and, you know, act like we're like doing our DJ moves. Paul's like, yeah, okay,
yeah,
whatever.
DJ Pistol.
Yeah.
Well, look, we got our next guest is going to be Max Michelle. See him walking around here. We are at the Century Arms booth. If you guys are here at the show, please come by booth number 11962. Say hi to myself and Ava. Again, follow Ava's Instagram, her YouTube. You guys are watching it on my Legally on America YouTube, so I appreciate that. But we're going to be here for 4 hours. We got 2 hours and 45 minutes left to go. And again, we have Max Michelle and a ton of other guys coming up. So please hang out with us. And Adam, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
you.
Yes, ma'am.